This is Business Report Africa, brought to you by your digital first Pan-African network, TOS TV. Now, with Joe Biden's imminent inauguration as the President of the United States, his policy on energy and renewables could very well determine Nigeria's prosperity for the next 4 years. Now, while some countries would face pressure from Biden in respect to their human rights issues, climate change policies, and other diplomatic matters, countries like Nigeria will be analyzing the impact of Biden's policies on the fate of oil. There are three major standpoints that are very, very crucial here. Will shale oil, which has been the albatross on the neck of oil prices for years, weaken in respect to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris' views on fracking? Will Joe Biden's soft foreign policy on Iran enable Iranian oil to return to the market? Or will Joe Biden emulate Trump in meddling with OPEC affairs? The answers to these three questions would give an outlook on the fate of Nigeria's black gold. And Kenya seeks 500 billion shillings to build pipeline or storage facilities. Inadequate infrastructure has been blamed for slow pace in commercialization of crude oil as the country seeks $5 billion to develop and expand fuel facilities. Now, Mining and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary John Moniers revealed that the country is seeking funds to finance its infrastructural development from Lokicha to coastal region through public-private partnership. In a statement, the Petroleum and Cabinet Secretary said, and I quote, "We tested market for our oil, and the oil is good. But Kenya suffers from one problem. Our upstream and midstream is weak in such a way that we cannot commercialize our crude oil with our current infrastructure capacity." That was a statement by the CS. He also said it will cost Kenya 500 billion shillings to finance the construction of the pipeline central processing storage facilities and upgrade the refinery facilities in Lamu and Mombasa. Currently, Kenya transports crude oil by road using trucks from Turkana to coast. Now let's talk about COVID-19 and its impact on small businesses in Nigeria. At a time when the nation is reeling from the effects of the coronavirus pandemic, which negatively impacted government and business revenues, as well as individuals' personal incomes, the Nigerian government has, however, pledged support for SMEs. Now, other private enterprises have also pledged support for small and medium-scale enterprises in the country. For instance, the United Bank for Africa PLC has inaugurated a business booster series tagged You Business to improve the state of small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria. The Executive Director, Investment Banking of the bank, Mr. Chika Modi, said in Lagos on Tuesday that the company had introduced the You Business to make SMEs more viable and better established. He said with abundant human and material resources, Nigeria had the potential to become a global giant. He, however, encouraged leading corporate organizations to lend a hand in making SMEs a formidable economic force, thereby contributing to national economic growth and development. Now, joining me to discuss the impact of COVID-19 on small businesses, as well as the opportunities amidst the pandemic, is Remy Dairo, President of Institute Productivity and Business Innovation Management. Good to have you on the show, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Remy. Good to have you. Good morning. All right, so while we're still trying to connect to Mr. Remy Dairo, we go on now looking at the apparel market where Naira exchanges at 470 Naira to a dollar in the apparel market. Now, the exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar for today, of course, stands at 470 Naira to a dollar in the apparel market. The rate had also closed at 470 Naira to a dollar on Tuesday, January 19, 2021. As at latest updates, January 20th, which still left Naira at 470 Naira to a dollar. Moving on, South Africa's average annual inflation fell to 16-year low in 2020. SA's inflation rate fell to its lowest rate in more than a decade in 2020 as COVID-19 took the wind out of customers' sales and put pressure on fuel prices. Inflation, measured by the annual change in the Consumer Price Index, averaged 3.3% in 2020. Now, statistics in South Africa said on Wednesday, adding that this is at its lowest rate since 2004. The 3.3% inflation rate is well below the midpoint of the Reserve Bank's 3% to 6% target rate, with the data coming ahead of the bank's first interest rate decision for 2021 on Thursday. Though it is a close call, the bank is likely to cut interest rates on Thursday, said the Capital Economics senior emerging market economics Jason Turvey, citing renewed COVID-19 restrictions that have darkened South Africa's near-term economic outlook. And now moving on over to commodities away from South Africa. Gold appeal shuts up thanks to a weaker US dollar. Now, more COVID-19 relief programs pushed the yellow metals appeal up as an inflation hedge. Now, gold was up as at Wednesday trading session thanks to a weaker dollar coupled with statements from, of course, Janet Yellen, the incoming secretary for the U.S. Treasury, calling for more COVID-19 relief programs. Now, these helped to push the yellow metals appeal up as an inflation hedge. As at press time, gold futures were up to about 0.51% at 1,849.60 ounce to a dollar. I beg your pardon. And well, away from all of that, we move on to the stock market now. Let's take a look at NSE exchange traded funds. ETF market capitalization hit 24.51 billion naira. The NSE stated that the new gold ETF emerged the best ETF for the second consecutive year, posting returns of about 66.03%. Now, the assets under listing of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ETF market increased to 24.51 billion naira as at the end of 2020, indicating an increase of 272% compared to what was obtainable in similar period in the year 2019. The following are the key highlights of the NSE to ETF market. Now, trading volume increased to 13.02 million units as at the end of 2020, which of course went up by plus 218.23%. Year-on-year market turnover skyrocketed to 56.66 billion naira, indicating a massive increase of about 51,831% year-on-year. Now, this also signifies increased interest in Nigeria's ETF market. Well, that's all for today's report on What Business Africa. Well, sadly, we couldn't get our guests to join in, but of course, thank you for watching, and do not forget to follow us on social media. Oh, okay. So, well, I've just been informed that my guest is joining us now before the close of the show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Remy Dairo.
Yeah, it's pleasure. It's fine.
Welcome. Good to have you. I was about wrapping up the show before you joined in.
Yeah, I can imagine network and then love.
All right, so okay. For lack of time, let's move on straight to today's topic of focus. Let's look at COVID-19 and the impact on small businesses. Well, we did see reports that the Nigerian government has pledged support for small, medium-scale enterprises as well as private entities like United Bank for Africa, etc. So, what are your thoughts on this, and how do you suggest, or how do you think that these grants would help boost small and medium-scale enterprises?
Yeah, I think the government is trying, and I think other private sectors are also trying their best here and there. But I think we have not really hit the bull on the high, like I would say. Now, the business has moved from physical to virtual globally. If you are giving people cash to do what? They buy what they want to buy, and they are back broke. They are back broke because you are pushing them back to the old model. Can we begin to spend money on educating, enlightening people on how they can take their business online? I know that there are, need for us to do, transaction on one-on-one and all that. But I tell you, the global money has gone online. You can do business from any remote part of Nigeria to any part of the world if you are connected or you are enlightened on how to do it global, in an online way. Now, the question now is, how do we position, say there's no job, there's no job, there's no job? There cannot be job in a local environment in as much as we are still back to the old way of doing business. So, but there are jobs in other areas, other nooks and crannies parts of the world. If we are, if you are virtually educated, if you have, the data, we have the bandwidth enough to be able to go into that space and then compete globally and make enough money for ourselves. So for Nigeria to still say we are giving cash to some people, 100,000 every month, I don't know what that means, because that is still retrogressive as far as I'm concerned. But okay, we're talking about the women in the village. We're talking about the poor. And what about the people who are in town, who are staying in cities, but they are poor. So there's still a gap between the rich and the poor, which is education of knowing what to do exactly to enter into that field of new business that the world has given us now.
Okay, quickly, before I let you go, Mr. Dairo, now let's look at opportunities amidst the coronavirus pandemic, because we know the popular adage that says when one does shuts, another one opens. So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs across Africa watching possibly right now? What business opportunities do you envisage from amidst the pandemic?
Okay, so one of the opportunities is for people to work from home. And when you're working from home, you can do one or two jobs together. Immediately you know what exactly to do for any of the organization. Okay? Another opportunity is for employers of labor not to now go and rent big space. So you want to start a business, the first thing you're thinking is big office space. So what we need now is to say, can we have a place where there'll be internet, where there'll be where there'll be laptop, and there'll be there'll be Wi-Fi for people to come in and do their business when they are connected online, and then when they are off, they go back, and then office is done for the day. Because we still pay so much rent.
If I get you correctly, you're suggesting that a lot of entrepreneurs move over to the online traffic, the online method of doing things.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you so much. I have to let you go.
Also very key.
Yeah.
No problem. Maybe I'll come another time for a full training on this, which I'm already planning to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. After COVID.
Thank you so much for your insightful opinion there. Thank you for joining us on today's edition. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
And that's how we end today's show. Thank you so much to our viewers for watching. Do not forget to follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, TOS TV Network. Now, TOS TV is also available on TS TV Africa as TOS News on channel 138. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Until I come your way again tomorrow, I am Stephanie Adia.